Okay, what's up everybody? So today I'm gonna go over this silver mouthpiece. This was the $20, technically $19 unplated mouthpiece from Yebuy that I bought off of Amazon, and I just recently got it back from having sent this thing out to be plated months ago. The mailing system is very slow now. There's a lot going on. You guys know about all of that. But at any rate, I got this thing back, and I told you guys I was going to do a more thorough playthrough and review of this mouthpiece. So let's get to it. Okay, one of the things that I'm noticing about this mouthpiece more than the gold-plated one is that up top, this thing really starts to flare out. It's ideal if you want to cut through, but it's also really balanced. I got a nice subtone on the bottom. Okay. Piece of cake, man. Here's the biggest thing that I want to do in this review concerning this mouthpiece, because it's a popular trend on social media to do these like cheap versus expensive reviews. And personally, I don't think that there's enough of them that are actually doing a fair, unbiased review. A lot of them, they're just trying to sell you some stuff. And a lot of you guys ask me, hey, can you review this thing or review that thing? What do you think? I can only really give an honest review on stuff that I've tried, but at least in my experience, these things are just heavily biased in order to sell products. Now, I want to talk about this mouthpiece in particular because this mouthpiece, for all intents and purposes, is just as good as the gold-plated one, the one that I had gold-plated, but that one cost me around $180 total, way more than the $20 that I paid for it. However, it's kind of my number one mouthpiece. Now, that does not mean that it's better than the high dollar mouthpieces. And this one being almost just as good as the gold-plated one, $85 total. Now, I know a lot of people want to ask me, man, how can I justify paying more money for more expensive stuff when at $19 or $85, I can get a mouthpiece that's going to do everything that I want? Well, a lot of people don't really take into account when they do these types of comparisons of what kind of cost really goes into making a mouthpiece by one of the more boutique manufacturers. So this mouthpiece only comes in a very limited number of tip openings. Also, there's a limited number of ways you can actually get this mouthpiece. There's some horrible plating. There's like a rose gold one it's awful. As a professional saxophone player, when I'm playing a mouthpiece like this, I'm immediately confronted with everything that's wrong with it. Now, I can play my way around it and make the thing sound great. And I love this mouthpiece, don't get me wrong. But number one, the internal geometry of this mouthpiece is actually pretty fantastic. And if you start at a good place, then you can wind up with a pretty decent playing product. Now, unfortunately, that type of internal geometry isn't going to be for everyone. If I'm going to compare this to an Autolink, and Autolink has 100 years worth of research and development from professional players going to the manufacturer and saying, these are the kind of things that we want out of a mouthpiece. There is none of that. How much is it going to cost them to change it? This is a 9, which isn't even a 6-star on the Autolink scale. So the ones that I've seen, like the 9 is as high as they go. And usually, like the Giardinelli, that plastic mouthpiece that costs $20 also, $21. That mouthpiece I've only seen in plastic, and I've only seen in one tip opening, and it wasn't even labeled. The mouthpiece is fantastic at $20, but what is it going to cost for them to give me a good ligature along with it? Now you got to factor in that cost. Research and development essentially means we need to retool machinery in order to get the customers to appreciate this thing, and that is going to drive the price up. I mean, that is essentially the best, most fair comparison, because you might try this thing and hate it. You might like more Dukoff oriented mouthpieces, or you might like more of the hard rubber type mouthpieces. And now, in order for them to offer that, they essentially have to just double the amount of machinery that they have. Somebody needs to calibrate all of that. So now this mouthpiece that was $20, that looks like a sweet bargain, now if they do all of that, it's going to be right up to $100 and even more. And since this is metal, I don't know what this metal is. I would never play any of these mouthpieces unplated anyway. So you got to really factor in the real cost of what that stuff is going to do. So don't be misled by slick marketing. And most importantly, understand when you're being sold a product versus somebody actually doing a real review.
Step right up, ladies and gentlemen. You can get your super duper saxophone butt cream, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, just put that butt cream right between them butt cheeks and you can play fast just like John Coltrane, Charlie Parker, Cannonball Adderley, even Johnny Griffith, Andy Griffith, Peter Griffin. Don't matter, ladies and gentlemen. Step right up and get that super duper saxophone butt cream. Yeah, today!
You should really understand what it is that you're getting when you pay for a more high dollar product versus what it is that you're not getting when you pay $20 or $19 for a mouthpiece, and what it is that you should probably wind up doing in order to get it where it needs to be. This mouthpiece costs $20. It cost me $65 to give it the silver plating. So now I'm only out $85, which is an insane bargain. But it comes with a crappy ligature, so throw another $50 on there, and we're looking at $135. This is putting you right in Van Doren territory without a ligature, but you probably have those little generic ligatures that can fit those mouthpieces pretty easily. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got one more mode to go. That's going to be Mixolydian. I'm going to combine that with Dominant 7. So for those of you who have been really struggling with what to do on a Dominant 7 chord, I'm going to provide you with a lot of really good information on that video. So you want to make sure that you check that one out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for you. Thanks for tuning in. See ya!